Well, hello. I'm so excited. I haven't done a live in quite a while, so I'm a little rusty. So please bear with me. I wanted to talk to you today about what to do when you feel overlooked by God. Perhaps you've been in the situation where you've got gifts, passion, obedience, but no platform, no place to do the thing that you feel called to do, no place to share your gifts. When God delays the dream that He's given to you, what do you do when you just don't see any open doors? I've been there myself. I felt like I was doing everything right. I was praying, I was seeking God, I was planning, but still the door remained shut. But you're not alone if you felt that way. I'm going to share with you today what it was that God taught me through my period of waiting. I'm still in a period of waiting. The things that help you to be joyful and confident, courageous, and content with where you are as you wait for things to develop. So, right after I was healed from anxiety and depression and all the stuff that God healed me from, um, God gave me a vision for a nonprofit, and it was to help teen girls that were just like I was when I was a teen. I was estranged from my family. I didn't have people to depend upon. I didn't have anybody show me the way. And God gave me a really uh, strong desire to reach out to these young girls. Of course, I wasn't in a place to do it at the time. So I prayed and I studied and I looked at other programs that did similar things for teenage girls. And I just really dug in. And I felt like I've even got a little notebook, a journal that is just for that particular nonprofit. I have a name for it, Beth Hesed, which means the House of Love. And it is to help them to learn to love themselves, to walk in the love and power of God, to be able to do things that God has placed in their hearts to do, to fulfill their dreams. It will teach them entrepreneurial steps, skills, and to just be there for them when they really have no one else they feel they can depend upon. So I prayed, I planned, I even looked at properties, went around, I found a beautiful property that I absolutely loved, but I didn't have any money, so I couldn't buy it. It has since been torn down. It now is just a blank place. Maybe y'all built there. I don't know. All I know is that eventually this will come to pass. I created a curriculum. I created devotionals. I created all kinds of plans and strategies and helps for these girls. But nothing opened. No funding came through. I had no idea of how this was going to happen. God 3 years ago gave me a plan to start making money so that I could fund the nonprofit myself. But even that has not created the income I need to start the nonprofit. Oh, so lovely. Don't we just love serving God who keeps so many things secret? So I had nothing moving at the time before 3 years ago. And I just was crying out to God and I said, Lord, why in the world would you put this thing in my heart that's burning a hole inside of me, wanting to get out and do something? Oh, I always cry when I talk about it. Um, I just really want to help them so much, so badly. When is it going to get fulfilled? When am I going to be able to do something with this? Why won't you fulfill this dream that you gave me? So, what I thought was a delay, which it was a delay, But it wasn't a delay for no purpose. It wasn't just like, well, if you're a good girl, maybe if you wait long enough. That's not why God delays. Um, he was developing my character, strengthening me, causing me to have more diligence and patience and just all kinds of things that I needed to be successful in this venture that he was calling me to do. I needed to be someone that knew how to surrender, that could take frustration and not give up, that could take all kinds of things and not blow up in anger. I needed to change. I needed to grow. I needed to develop. So God showed me something really beautiful in scripture while I was complaining to him. So we all know about King David. David was anointed to be king by Samuel, the prophet. And right after God took this teenager and anointed him to be the king, he went right back to being the shepherd. So then he was called forth by God to go and kill the enemy Goliath. And everyone's like, who are you to kill Goliath? What are you doing? His brothers were like, you're just trying to show off. What are you doing? But he had a heart for God. And he was like, no, this giant is an uncircumcised Philistine. How dare he come against the army of the living God? God has put the lion and the bear into my hand, and I will surely destroy this uncircumcised Philistine who has nothing to do with our God and has no power or strength, because God is the one that strengthens me to do everything that I do. He was excited and he killed him. He still didn't become king. Okay, so now he's got this fervor. He really believes, okay, that this is my destiny to become king. He was anointed to become king. And then he marries the king's daughter. Oh, now this will be the thing that makes him king. No. The king tries to kill him because the king sees him as a threat. I mean, just one thing after another, this poor guy. Oh, I know how it felt because I felt the same way. Where is my ministry that you promised me, God? So Joseph, we all know the story of Joseph. He had dreams, and his brothers are like, again with the brothers. What is it with brothers? I'm glad I don't have any, just two sisters. They're very encouraging of me. But his brothers were like, who are you to think that you're so great and everything? I mean, what do you think that you're going to do that's better than us? You're the youngest. You surely cannot be above even your father and mother. I mean, what kind of dream is this? This is just pride and arrogance. This is not from God. Well, I've thought that too in this whole situation as I was going through, but God would not allow me to let it go. So I still hold on to it, just as Joseph did. When he was thrown into a pit to be killed, when he was sold into slavery, when he was lied about and thrown in prison, when he was forgotten by those that he helped, finally the time came for God to raise him up. And all that time, he was learning lessons. He was developing character. He was becoming who he needed to do and doing what he needed to do to become the person that would be able to have a plan for the provision for his family and for the world in that region. Moses was placed from the time he was a child in this position of authority in the king's family, the Pharaoh's family. He was raised up to be something great. He was knowledgeable. He could write, he could read, he could do all this. He was not treated like a slave like the rest of his people. But then he committed murder. Granted, now his heart was in the right place. He was wanting to protect his people. He was wanting to do the things that God has called him to do, but he went about it in a wrong way. And this anger thing came back to bite him several times. I mean, he had an anger issue. First, he kills somebody, then he smashes the tablets. Then he strikes a stone when he was supposed to speak to it because he was mad at the people for uh, getting God upset. And yeah, he had some character training to do. 40 years God trained him before he sent him before the Pharaoh. By that time, he was so humbled and worse than humbled, humiliated, that he didn't even believe that he could stand up before Pharaoh and speak. So even Jesus, when Jesus was 12, he was teaching in the synagogue and people were amazed. He could have started his whole ministry at the age of 12 or the age of 18 or 24. But no, God had him waiting until he was 30. The fullness of time hadn't come. The right people had to be born and grown up, and their character had to be developed so that Peter could be who he was, and Andrew and Philip and all the people. The Sanhedrin had to be just the right kind of people that Jesus needed to rail against. The systems in the temple had to be just right. And the people under the Roman rule had to be so frustrated they would want to accept him and believe his words and accept him as their Messiah. All this had to come in. So it's not just even about your growth and your character development. It's about the people that you serve. The right people, the people that God knew from the beginning when he created Adam and Eve. He knew these people that you are called to represent before him in intercessory prayer, that you are called to encourage and equip. We're all coming together in a place and time. And so even Jesus had to wait. There's preparation to make. When the doors do open, we need the character, not just the calling. We need the strength and the ability to lean on God and to acknowledge him in all of our ways so that we don't fall into temptation or struggles or end up being eaten by our enemy, the lion. So, all that waiting. And 3 years ago, when God was speaking to me about starting this business that is going to then fund my nonprofit, Beth Chesed, God also brought to me 2 lovely teenage girls that had mothers who couldn't understand them or love them. They just needed encouragement and help and hope. They needed someone to speak to them as a grandmother, as a matriarch in the Lord, someone to encourage them to work and continue their schooling and get jobs so that they could make a life for themselves. And I am so very blessed that God allowed this to happen through me. That moment was a first fruit of sorts of what God has planned for me, the ministry and the people that he's going to call me to help. Whether your dream is fulfilled here or in some future time, perhaps in the millennial reign, there's things that are going to be happening then even There's going to be nations, even in the millennial reign, that are not going to submit. It's not going to be all roses and diamonds. We're going to have work to do. We're going to be ruling and reigning with him in that time. So whether it happens now and things are happening faster and faster, or it happens later, it will happen. Wait for it. Though the vision tarry, wait for it. God planted it, and God will bring it to harvest. So, what do we do while we're waiting? If we're going to be waiting and waiting. Well, if you're in this hidden place where nobody knows you and nobody sees you, it's okay. Don't despise the day of small beginnings. Don't rush through it. Don't try to force things to happen. Let God meet you where you are. In that in-between space where you've received the dream, yet it's not fulfilled, I want to encourage you to rest. He has called us all to rest. And even while you are fulfilling your dream and your vision, in that time, you need to know how to rest. Let God teach you how to rest in him and allow him to do the works through you. Trust. Know that God does not lie, nor can he lie, because the moment he were to say anything that seems to be a lie, it would become true. Because God spoke the worlds into being. If he said, you have lovely purple hair, your hair would be purple, because he has no way of saying something that isn't true. His power is in his word. His word is his power. They're one and the same. They can't be separated. If he said to you, you will create this ministry, you will do this mighty thing, it's going to happen. It can't not happen. Keep preparing yourself while you wait in rest and trust. Do it with joy, not out of pressure. Be joyful, filled with gratitude and thanksgiving for God giving you this opportunity in your sometime in the future. Have joy. Joy is such a wonderful gift that God gives to us. He wants our joy to be full. He doesn't want us down in the dumps because we don't have some thing that we believe we need for our fulfillment. He doesn't want us striving to attain things that he's not ready for us to have yet. We just have to rest and trust and be in joy with hope. God's word will not return to him void. It always accomplishes that for which he sent it. So, your delay does not mean you've been denied. I hope that my story and those of David and Jesus and Joseph and Moses will help you to wait with hope and joy. Will help you to stay grounded while you're waiting. And in order to help you, I have created a free resource to help you while you're waiting. It is a free devotional. It is a 5-day devotional. It's called Fulfilled in His Time. And if you would like access to this, mention it down below. Say something in the comments. You can say free. You can be free from all the haranguing and wringing of your hands while you're waiting. So mention free below, and I will send this devotional, a 5-day devotional to you to help you to be encouraged. It has scriptures, prayers, and words, little teachings to help you to be encouraged and strengthened in this time where you're feeling unseen and unheard and unused. It will help you to embrace trust and release the struggle. So I would like you to please, here on, well, I'm on LinkedIn and I'm also on YouTube, to please like, share, and comment and subscribe for you YouTubers. Like and share if you are on LinkedIn. And please ask for the 5-day devotional. I'm giving it to you for free. You don't have to do anything. And come back for more faith-based encouragement every week. I'm going to be going live every Friday. Don't have a time set yet. It will be some point on a Friday. And may you be blessed.